Are we at rock bottom? Are we at rock bottom? 137-96 against a team that had only won 4 games, had lost 5 in a row, and didn't have their 2 best players on the floor in Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson. And I'm going to say this for those of you that may not have been with me at the beginning of the year. I told you this season was going to be a disaster, but I didn't think it was going to be a disaster to this magnitude. And I'm telling you what I would do, okay? If I'm in charge of the Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie is not getting on the airplane tonight to fly to Denver. I'm sorry. He's not my coach anymore. This is unacceptable. It is a gutless and absolutely gutless performance where the team completely quit on their coach. They have completely tuned out their coach. The coach doesn't have any idea what the hell he's doing with his substitutions, his minutes. Bless his heart, because he really wants this team to do well, and he loves the community. I've told you this now, and I'm going to continue to tell this. He is not an NBA head coach. He's not. And I understand that he didn't get a lot to work with and the roster is flawed. But there's a difference between a roster being flawed and a roster not giving a damn and not competing. And that's the Sacramento Kings. And it has to start with a coaching move. I'm sorry. Okay? And again, I understand that when you're a coach, and Jerry Reynolds knows this a lot better than I do, you're only as good as the talent you have on the floor. But when you quit, when you absolutely quit, not just against this team, but we saw it the other night against the Atlanta Hawks, there have been too many games this year where the Kings have quit. And when the Kings quit, I'm sorry, it falls on the coach. You have to make a move. Do I think that's going to all of a sudden make the Kings a winning team? No, but you have to do it. You cannot have this continue. You just can't. This was an absolute gutless, pathetic, embarrassing performance against a embarrassing, pathetic franchise in the Memphis Grizzlies. Jerry, help me out here.
Well, there's nothing I can add to it. I guess the biggest problem I've got against switching coaches is you're not going to get the best coach available this time of year. All you're doing is creating another problem down the line. If you really want to change coaches and change direction of a team, this probably is not going to change much. And so what have you done? You maybe get a few more wins, and you're still probably going to be wanting to go get another coach if in fact that's your plan. That's the only thing I'd say.
Didn't they do that last year? Didn't they fire Mike Brown in the middle of the season after a bad stretch? I mean, why would they not do it again this year?
They did, and it was a stupid mistake.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a stupid mistake. That's all I can say. That's why I say I don't know.
Ryno?
Well, I would say you have to give some effort in order to quit. So I'm not sure that even qualified as quitting. So we can argue the logistics, but I'm going to ask you two. You guys have watched 32 years and more of Kings basketball.
40.
With, what's that?
Jerry's been here for 40 years.
Yeah, 40. Over 40. So there's a lot of experience right here sitting with me, and you have all the context. Where does this rank in times that you remember of low points in Kings basketball outside of a move?
Jerry?
Well, it's right there. I mean, it's not just the margin of loss, because a lot of teams have lost by that amount over the years, 40 points or whatever. But you're playing a team that was on a 5-game losing streak,
right,
as well. I mean, obviously, and so they were in disarray, playing terribly. So I think it puts a multiplier in effect. And like I think I texted you, Ryan. I said they're late in the game. The Kings just needed a 40-0 run to get back in the game.
I wish I would have seen that.
No. I had a friend send me a clip in the fourth quarter from Kings TV. The Kings were down 31 points in the fourth quarter. Who was doing the game tonight? Who was the play-by-play guy again?
Kyle Draper and Katie.
Kyle Draper, on the clip that my friend sent me, said, boy, what the Kings really need to really put some pressure on is get on a 12-0 run. Are you freaking kidding me? That's as embarrassing as the performance was tonight. I mean, seriously, it's embarrassing. The whole damn thing is embarrassing. So I'm going to answer your question, Ryno, because Jerry's got 3 years more of experience than I do in watching bad basketball. This is the worst Sacramento Kings team I have ever seen before Thanksgiving. I've never seen it this bad before Thanksgiving. This has now equaled, at 3-13, this equals the worst start in franchise history. But this is the worst it's been in terms of the deficits against teams that are not very good. And in all fairness, they have had a very difficult schedule. But this, to me, since moving to Sacramento in 1987, is the worst Sacramento Kings team I've ever seen before the month of November. And again, I'm going to say this. I think they're very poorly coached, and I've been very consistent about that. Doug Christie's rotations make no sense. The minutes being distributed make no sense. His post-game press conferences, to me, make no sense. It's just an absolute mess from the very top where the owner sits all the way down to the coach. It is an absolute mess.
Well, it's been a team screw-up, as you point out. Couldn't agree more, top to bottom. I mean, you can't have a good team without basically people solid in all areas from top to bottom. And clearly, I think, Ryno, we talked about during the summer a lot, is that how in the world you got from being a young, exciting team with the Beam team, and now you're old and not exciting, and really you don't fit. I mean, that's just remarkable. And of course, going through coaching change and all that stuff. But you're right. I mean, there's no doubt that Doug has to own this, because the team wasn't prepared to play. I've always said there's, 2 things a coach can do is motivate the players and utilize them correctly. Well, today we didn't see either. Now, the other part of that motivation is the only motivation that ever works is self-motivation. I mean, talk about Grant. I mean, I know he's one of the best in the business, but the only way, maybe somebody could give you a pep talk now and then to get you perked up, but that has nothing to do with how you're going to perform long. You motivate yourself if you want to be in. And what we saw today was a bunch of guys who are professionals. They're veterans that have had some success, and they didn't bring it. They showed.
But Jerry,
no
you know
heart.
what? If this was the only game we were talking about it through the first 15 or 16 games, I would say, hey, you know what? It's part of the NBA grind. It's part of the season. But the problem with that, Jerry, we're saying this too often already, and the season is still in its infancy. How many times have we come on this postgame show and talked about this same thing? Too many times already.
Yeah, the thing that we talked about earlier in the season, and I think still was a big red flag to me, was getting blown out at home. As we talked about, we've seen a lot of bad teams over the years, but the blowouts would be like this on the road.
Yeah.
Not at home.
Not at home.
Even bad teams won at home and competed. We're almost invariably in the game. And so, there's there's no doubt about this whole roster needs blown up. That's
oh boy.
Sure. So a couple of things.
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, a couple of things. The first thing is, let me give you some context to what you're talking about with this season. This tonight was the 5th time the Kings have given up 70 or more points in a first half. It's also the 5th time this season they've given up 40 or more points in a quarter, which is beyond me. Also, I want to speak to the fan point of view. Grant, we've talked about this numerous times. There's guys that I think this fan base is okay with rolling with, because you're going to see the effort, Jerry. There's not that guaranteed paycheck. They're trying to make a name in the NBA, and you're not seeing them. Keon Ellis, Neat Clifford, we can go for days. I guess what I'm saying is the players that you are playing, they look like hostages. They don't look like volunteers, guys.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Spot on, boy. Spot on.
That's a home run there, Ryan.
Yeah, it is a home run. It's with the bases loaded. You're spot on. Can I pick out one positive, if you don't mind? I really like what I'm starting to see in Max Ryno. I really am. And guess what? Now that the season is over, and let's not kid anybody, it's over. I'm fine putting the kid on the floor for 30 minutes. Just let him play. I think I'm starting to see some things in him slowly but surely where I'm trying to project him. And again, I'm not going to make him into Wilt Chamberlain or Karl Malone, but I like what I'm seeing from him.
I really think you make a great point. I mean, on this front as well, because Domas is out for however long, and we don't know what's going to happen, and Drew Eubanks is a backup center, so let him continue to be a backup center, and go ahead and go with the young rookie. Make sure Clifford's in there, Keon Ellis. But to me, get on with that movement for sure. And but I'm the thing about Ryno, I would say the only thing, and this will take care of it in a short time, I think he's really got a weak base, his leg. He really can't really hold position well and all that. But that that's probably a 1 year. This time next year, I'd say
that's more common than uncommon, Jerry, with players.
Absolutely. Right. Very common, except for the true one immediate greats.
Yeah, and Jerry, he's got fundamentals. Like you can see the footwork, you can see the IQ. So I'm okay with having a weak base right now as a rookie. And we're making this second round pick to be a savior, one of two saviors. Think about that, guys. A second round pick.
Yeah,
well,
Jerry. Go ahead.
Well,
and I love Max.
Second round. Hey, Jokic was a second round pick, Ryno. So let's
You know what?
And
you're right.
Hey, I'll tell you something right now. Now, everybody think I'm crazy, but in Jokic's rookie year, he was no better than what we're seeing with Ryno. I mean, he had a tough time running up and down the floor. Denver couldn't decide if they wanted to trade him or Nurkic. They would decide to trade Nurkic at the last minute. Yeah. And but I mean, you didn't see greatness then. That's my point. Yeah.
Jerry,
nobody saw greatness. Now I'm not saying Ryno's going to be great, and like I say, I don't expect him to have great strong legs right now. Didn't expect it when he was drafted. It takes a while.
Jerry, last night when I was watching the show, you guys were talking about Nick Clifford, and that's another really puzzling aspect of Doug Christie's coaching. I don't understand unless there's something going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to. On this road trip, in the first game, he played 7 minutes. He played 11 minutes in another game. Tonight, you're getting absolutely embarrassed. He was the bright spot coming out of Summer League. We also have seen sometimes already in this season where we see the development and we're like, okay. And even tonight, you're getting embarrassed. You're getting out, and he only plays 19 minutes. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand what is going on with Nick Clifford and the lack of playing time. It makes zero sense to me.
Well, to follow up on that, the thing that's really sets it up for zero sense is you signed two old veterans, especially Westbrook and Schroeder. Guys that are coming in expecting to play. And I mean, I think it does put really an unusual circumstance on the coach, but that's where Coach Christie has got to step up and say, look, I went with you guys, you vets, you've got your minutes and you haven't produced. I'm going to play these guys. And I think that's where it has to go. But anyway, I agree with you, Grant. I don't understand how, and we've talked about this endlessly. I mean, Keon fits in better with basically ball stoppers, which is what the team is.
Do you guys want some audio? Sorry to cut you off, Jerry. Do you guys want some audio from Coach Christie if we can break in?
Yep, do it.
All right, let's see if we can get in really quick.
Doug, you lose a game by 41 points to extend the losing streak to 8. Just where are you at with your team right now?
It's definitely frustrating. I think the biggest thing is when we go back, we'll look at the tape first of all. But when we look at the first quarter the other night, that's about as good a first quarter as we played, especially defensively, boxes and elbows. Excuse me, in on the weak side. Guys were communicating and everything 24 hours later, similar to what happened to us with Atlanta. young team just comes in. We have to find the ability to play the right way and play with a level of urgency, sense of urgency and energy necessary to win games on a night-to-night basis. And it's an absolute must. There's a frustration. This isn't, these are bad feelings. You don't like them, but we know that there's a process that we are going through to get to where we want to go. Really happy with the young guys. Good to see Keegan back out there trying to find his way and his win through his energy. His injury. That was huge for him, but. We'll go back. We'll look at the tape. We're going to continue to coach them, and we're going to continue to coach them to a style of basketball that is Sacramento Kings basketball, period.
You talk about the process, and you have a lot of very accomplished veterans on this team. For you guys to be in this spell and lose by this many points, is this part of the process? Can this be part of the process?
Veterans in that regard, yeah. We have a lot, but on back-to-backs and different things, like we have to find a way, and they have to lead. That's my job as well, to make sure that we are ready to play. I think that the game plan was good. We was ready to execute it. They came out, punched us in the mouth, and we didn't respond the way that we need to respond. But down this process it's a painful thing to go through. Neek is out there. We're going with Max. We're looking at what Max does. Keegan is coming back. Like those things.
That's all we got.
You know what the question really should be? I'm sorry. And that's the vanilla part of the Sacramento media. This is the question, okay? Because you have had now 4 games where you've been down by 40 or more points. My question would be, Doug, do you feel the team has quit on you? Seriously, that would be my question. I want to hear how he answers that, because he keeps on talking about Sacramento Kings basketball and all of this. I'm sorry. I've been around basketball a lot, not as long as this man here on the screen with us and Jerry. And Jerry's been through horror shows before. I know what a team looks like that quits on their coach, because unfortunately I've seen it before. This team to me tonight quit on their coach. You could say they also quit on themselves, but they quit on their coach. And when I see a team quit on their coach, not once, but multiple times before Thanksgiving, I'm sorry, that's a red flag for me. And this is not personal. It's not because of what happened to me 5 years ago. I'm just looking at this and going, there's something wrong here. There's a disconnect going on with this team right now. We can't ignore that.
I don't disagree with anything. The thing that I would advise Doug, if we were to ask, it's like, there's nothing wrong with, after a game like this, to come out and be pissed. I understand that you don't have to throw somebody under the bus, and you shouldn't necessarily, but don't you can't act like this is part of your plan, because that's no plan. You just got to say, this was a disgusting game. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the way they played, and this crap, we're not going to tolerate it. Something along those lines. At least make sure that everybody knows you saw the same thing they did.
So, Jerry, the national media got on Doug after the Hawks game and said you can only pull so many of those cards as a coach, because he was very emotional, few F-bombs. How many of those cards can you pull, Coach?
Don't know. I know this, but you better keep pulling them. You can't, games like this, they are what they are. But it's really a case where you've got to make sure that you let the fans and the players know that you're really upset with it, that there's nothing good to say about it. There's no positives here, none. And Jerry, so because you're gonna have a game coming up, so hey. Don't try to sugarcoat it. It'd be one thing if it was the second game of the year, third game of the year, but it's like Grant and you guys said, it's been several of these. So yeah, I pull the frustrated, if you're going to go down with the ship type thing.
Guys, here's the biggest problem I have right now. There are 66 games left. Jerry, we've been on the bus before. We've been with teams where you can't wait for the finish line and you're like, gosh, only 3 more weeks, only 4 more weeks because, there's been a coach fired, there's an interim coach, the players don't give a damn. I mean, I hate to say it, but, they're looking at making their plans for, the day after the season ends. Again, Jerry, Thanksgiving is a week away. We're not even the freaking Thanksgiving yet. There's 66 games. And so we think that we're at rock bottom right now. And again, if we were in March, I'm like, hey, you know what? Just get to the finish line. Let's figure it out in the offseason. But the season's just beginning. That's the hard part about this. I don't even know, what do you tell the fans right now? If you're a fan of this team, how could you possibly have any hope for anything right now with how disastrous the first 4 weeks of the season's been and the fact that you still have 66 games left?
Well, yeah, well, it's a terrible situation. And I mean, I guess for me, I'd said earlier on when we saw some of these bad games, you probably need to wait 25 or 30 games in before you have a look. But I think I guess my point is this team needs to be rebuilt. It's not going anywhere. It needs to be rebuilt. So anything you're doing now is strategy going with that in mind. Whether it's, maybe giving guys minutes to move them on, to improve, whatever it takes. But you're going to have to redo this whole roster. And it has to start, certainly as soon as possible. I mean, and I don't know what, it's going to be a long process. It's going to be a long process. And, play the young players, that you think might be parts of it. And then as soon as you can move on from parts that can't be part of it down the road.
See, Jerry, that's where I think you meet kind of the rubber meets the road for me, because every other team, 29 in the NBA, can look at what the Kings have in terms of assets and know they are available, which means you are probably not getting full return on their value. Who knows that you would have got full return? But in terms of a fracture with this fan base, what Doug said tonight to me would be acceptable if you had a starting lineup that was Keon Ellis, Max Ryno, Keegan Murray, and throw a couple other guys out there, Neat Clifford.
Yeah.
That to me would be acceptable. And Sacramento knows hoop. This is not acceptable when
you're
have
not going to lose by more than 40 with that lineup on the floor. I can guarantee you
that. Yeah, that's where. And Jerry, I guess here's what I was getting to. What do you do with the veterans in the interim?
Well, that is the problem, and I think that you've got to. I don't think you can just quit playing them because you're going to try to move them. You got to get something. Now that doesn't mean what you got to do is take minutes from them. You've got to make sure the young guys are playing. I'd say that's what I would say right now is make sure the Murrays and Keon Ellis and Neek and Ryno, they're playing and they're getting.
Yeah.
They don't have to get 30 minutes, but getting minutes. And that means less minutes for the veterans, but the veterans are still out there so people know they're available.
Jerry, before we let you go, I want to back up to a comment that I made because you've been here since 1985 when you came from Kansas City. And I know it's hard to reflect back on 40 years. But when I said I don't recall a worse Sacramento Kings situation this early in the season, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. I would. Because I mean, there are teams that you saw was probably going to end up, they weren't good enough to continue. They were probably playing over their head, even though they were losing.
Yes,
I guess that's the way I would put it. That this team is in my mind has more overall talent, even though it doesn't fit a thing. It has more talent than probably 2/3 of the teams that the Kings fans have seen, but it fits worse probably than any. And I would agree with you, Grant. I can't say I've seen a team, get blown out at home and on the road like tonight, just pack it in the first 6 minutes before.
42 assists. The Memphis Grizzlies had 42 assists tonight, Jerry and Ryan. 42 assists.
25 in the first half with only 2 turnovers. Jerry, one follow-up to that question that Grant asked for the fans that are saying, well, the Kings have been injured. What percentage of injury do you factor into the problem that the Kings are certainly in right now?
Oh, Very little.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because every team in the league now has a lot of injuries. You know what I mean? In years past, you might make something of that, but in the recent years in the NBA, every team has key guys out every game, and so I don't think the Kings have had it worse than very many teams that they've had more than they usually have. I think that's the thing that has surprised us as, say, Kings fans, is that, well, the Kings have had more. They've had injuries now like about every other team has all the time.
Yeah.
And they've also been beneficiaries, guys. They were the first
Yeah.
team that played the Spurs without Wemby. We can keep going down the list.
I mean, they started with the Lakers when they didn't have Luka and LeBron. I mean, and we can go on and on. Jerry, I don't want to make this any more painful for you than it already has been over the last 24 hours, other than I wanted to say thank you because, it's nice to get a perspective that's different than ours, with your history being in the role of both coach and general manager. And you understand it very well. So thank you very much. We appreciate your input.
Well, it's good to be with you guys on a tough time. And like I say, it is truly a low point for of us that want to see the team win and know that where it currently is, there's no easy fixes. You can go a lot of directions, but it's going to be a process. The Vlade and Page and C-Web aren't walking through that door anytime soon.
No, but they couldn't do any worse if they did. If they put their jerseys on and went onto the floor, I got to believe they'd still stay within 40. Okay.
Well, maybe we ought to give that a go.
Hey, it would sell out the arena. I can guarantee you that.
We'd all feel better about it. I know, at least bring Jay Will back.
Absolutely. He's 50. He can still do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd still be fun to watch. So anyway, well.
All right. Hey, Jerry, you have a good night, okay?
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Jerry.
We love Jerry. He is in a class all by himself. He is in a class all by himself. I'll tell you who else is in a class all by themselves, and that's DAS Mechanical. When it comes to heating and air, they have tons of 5-star reviews, numerous best of the best awards. But what I love about them, they are HVAC retrofit and service specialists. All right. Yeah, they do new systems as well. And I hope you don't need a new HVAC system because it can get costly. But if you do, they have financing options with 0% interest for 18 months, rebates up to $6,000. Go check them out online. All right. dasmechanical.org, family owned and operated. I've gotten to know their owner, Nick Delancey. He's awesome. His business, again, the reviews and the awards say it all. dasmechanical.org for all of your heating and air needs. That's DAS Mechanical, serving Sacramento and Placer counties. The Kings were thoroughly embarrassed tonight. Ryno, are you ready for some phone calls, my friend?
Yes, but I want to hit our super chats first.
Yes, please do.
If you want to call,
super chats.
Yes, very much so. So I'll put the link in the chat as well if anybody else wants to call in. Have we given you enough to talk about? I think so. So Marty asks, Grant says this team is awful, but does Vivek pressure Perry to make a move to shoot for meaningless play-in game rather than a proper rebuild, or does this fall all on Doug?
It doesn't all fall on Doug, and nobody should say it falls on Doug completely. It begins with the owner, and then Scott Perry didn't do Doug any favors in the offseason. I think we can say that. But there's a difference between being bad and not competing. And when I watch the Jazz, who have 5 wins, they compete every night.
Yep.
When I watch the Suns, who are projected to be below Sacramento, they compete every night. When I watch Portland, who was projected to be around Sacramento this year, they compete every night. And all 3 of these teams have dealt with injuries already this year that I'm mentioning. When I watch the Sacramento Kings, they compete sometimes. And that starts and ends with the coach, in my opinion. That is the responsibility of the coach. And Doug Christie right now, more times than not, is not able to get his team to compete. And he talks about all the crap on the postgame shows and all the nonsense. And I'm sorry, and I made this comment before he got the job, so I'm not changing my tune. He's not an NBA head coach. And I know Doug very, very well. And I know he loves Sacramento, and I know he loves the Sacramento Kings. I'm not sending him off onto a ship in a one-way direction. I'm sitting down with him and going, you know what, Doug? We got to make a change. I want you part of this organization. because I'm not going to ignore your love for this franchise and the city. What can we do to keep you with this franchise in a role that suits you, makes you happy, and makes us happy? That's the way I'm handling it. All right, I'm not pushing him to the curb. I'm not kicking him down the street. I'm going to say, Doug, this is not working. I got to make a move. I'm sorry. You're not going to coach this team anymore. Why don't you go away for a couple of weeks, take your wife, take her on vacation, whatever. When you come back, let's sit down and let's have a conversation about how we can keep you as part of this organization. That's how I would handle it.
QR code on the screen. Dirk, set the tone.
Hey guys, Jerry's last comment freaked me out a little bit. He said, Chris Webber, Lade, and Jason Williams are walking through the door, and I was like, that sounds like Vivek's next coaching choices to me, like with the carousel that we're running here. But
Wow.
So I watched it. I actually was on delay a bit on the game. I stopped it at halftime, and I realized, the game's over. So I had a choice to make, either to just see what the score was or come listen to the show. And I thought this would be more entertaining because it's so boring to watch this team play ISO ball the whole time. But I will say it was good to see Keegan play.
Yeah.
It was fun watching him.
He had a couple of nice individual offensive moves. The fadeaway on the baseline. Good to see that.
His first basket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, the legs, he's going to get his legs back under him. There was he got burned on defense a few times, but
yeah, but he's not going to make the Kings win right now, and that's the problem. And so we just have to acknowledge the fact that the Kings probably aren't going to win 20 games this year. But if you're not going to win 20 games, do it the right way. And I still think that there has to be a level of compete. And when you watch the last 2 weeks against Minnesota at home, giving up 144, when you watch the pathetic performance against the Atlanta Hawks, when you watch tonight, and I'm missing some games off the top of my head, it's unacceptable, and you have to change the coach. I'm sorry, you just do. And if you think that the national criticism is bad now, which got under Doug's feathers last week when he called out his critics, those in the media, maybe me, I don't know, and others, I can only tell you that many members of the media that were at the game that night shared with Ryno that they thought that was directed towards me. He was asked about it after the game, and he said it was not directed at any one individual. But the point is, if Doug thinks that the criticism was bad last week, are you kidding me? You just lost. You were down by over 40 points to a team without their two best players who had lost 5 in a row, had only won 4 games. If you think the criticism was bad last week, as they say, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yep.
Hey, my only issue with bringing up Doug is really it just masks Vivek's responsibility. And I mean, I'm going to say, like, he was the guy who wanted Zach LaVine when the whole rest of the league is telling you Zach LaVine is not the guy. And when people don't see the criticisms of him, they just look at the stats, the shooting percentages. They don't watch the games and see the turnovers. They don't see just the complete ISO ball for the whole team. I mean, you have to construct a team based on balance and roster and guys who want to play. I mean, we're playing against a team with all kinds of energy as far as the first half. What I was seeing, they were looking like all-stars, like several of their players. It's getting younger, getting guys, like, hopefully we don't lose the young guys we have now who want to play this style, that we're trying to play. But
what style is that? I don't see any style that they're trying to play. What style? Yeah. There's no style. What style are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking the theoretical style, Grant.
The theoretical style is bull crap.
Right. I'm not saying
I mean, come on.
DeRozan, like, I'm not asking DeMar DeRozan to play 94 feet. That's ridiculous, right? But guys who might be capable of doing that aren't going to, because 3 of the 5 guys on the floor at any given point aren't committed to that in a team game. So that theoretical style that involves players that want to play full court defense, maybe that theory doesn't live through Doug's tenure as our coach, so be it. But I think that's the overarching goal 2-3 years down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Dirk. But if every team could do that, they would do it for 82 games and they would win a championship. It's not that
Thank
easy.
you, Dirk.
So thanks, Dirk.
See ya.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
appreciate it. Before we move on, I want to tell you about New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. They are available 24/7. Water heaters, water line repair, sewer repair, water filtration, gas lines. Call 916-713-1010 or go to newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRXplumbing.com, New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. Don't forget, 3 o'clock tomorrow, we'll do it all over again on Fox Sports Sacramento. All right. You can check us out, 104.7 FM, 890 AM. How about my buddy here doing the show for me yesterday? I was a game time decision yesterday. I was actually sitting in the studio.
No.
I was a game time decision. I was sitting in the studio about 2 minutes before the show, and I'm like, man, I think I'm going to pass out here. I'm going to faint. I go, Ryno, I can't do this. And he stepped in and did a hell of a job. Great job,
I
Ryno.
appreciate it. Thank you. But you were nowhere near a game time decision. You would have been ruled out days before, but you still brought yourself in and you wanted to go.
Listen, you know what, man? I roll up my sleeves and I get it done.
Yep.
But I was honestly sweating and dizzy with about 2 minutes to go before my show yesterday. And I looked at you and I said, buddy, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to pass out. I can't do this. I need to lie down. I need to get off the chair here. And I was that bad. So thank you for coming to the rescue.
My pleasure. Glad you are feeling better. Definitely. That was scary. All right. I'm going to let you decide whether we take the next call.
All right. I'll handle it. All right.
I'll handle it.
All right. Go ahead, Dink. Dink Thompson, what's going on?
Yeah, they're still going to make the playoffs.
All right. I let him say 2 words. Thank you. Listen, I had food poisoning. We've all gone through it.
Yeah.
The Grant Napier flu game, I was so close to saying, I've got to do this, but I didn't want to embarrass myself and pass out in front of the microphone.
You know what happened? The traffic gods served you the Kobe burger. That's what happened.
Yeah. I think it was fish, though. It wasn't beef. It was fish. So, yeah, whatever. Hey, you know what?
Not from Bennett's, by the way.
No. It was not from Bennett's. No. As a matter of fact, even though I got real sick on fish, if Brian right now were to deliver me my redfish, my black and redfish, I'd guzzle that. I love the redfish there.
Yeah, it's in a class of its own. It's so different and awesome. All right, Chris, what's going on tonight?
Another fun, exciting night of Kings basketball.
It was great, wasn't it? I thought the effort, the enthusiasm, the spirit, the competitiveness, boy, it was just on full display. Oh, that was the Memphis Grizzlies. We didn't even talk about that, guys. And Chris, I'm going to let you. But thank you, Ryan. We didn't even talk about this. The Memphis Grizzlies tonight did not look like a 5-win team, or excuse me, a 4-win team. Yeah. They didn't look like a team that had lost 5 in a row. You know what they looked like to me? They looked like a team that was happy as hell not to have John Moran on the floor and Jaren Jackson. And they looked hungry. They looked determined. They were hustling. They were sharing the basketball. They were dunking. They were having fun. The bench was up cheering for them even early in the first quarter. They didn't look like a team to me that had given up on their coach, which I had talked about last week. They looked like a team that was having fun playing basketball.
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
They're a team going through controversy too. And they look really good. No, they're going through it too, Grant. Those players want to show the coach, we can do what you want to do. If Ja doesn't want to do it, give us the minutes. They're NBAers.
Chris, are you still there?
Yeah, still here.
Chris, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to step all over you. Go ahead. I apologize to you.
No problem. And I kind of want to get your opinion, Grant. I mean, you've been around this team. You've been around the NBA a long time. We know nobody can force Vivek to sell the team. Right. I mean, it's his team. So with that said, I mean, as Kings fans, what do we have forward? What can we look forward to if a rebuild takes, 2, 3, 4 years, and we're starting at rock bottom with the owner who just,
the answer to that question is? I'm going to step on you here and tell you.
Go ahead.
Know what you can look forward to? You can look forward to the day in May at the NBA lottery and hope that you get one of the top 4 picks in the draft next year. That's what you need to look forward to, because that's really your best chance of getting going and in the right direction. That's your best chance.
And Chris, believe it or not, this is going to sound crazy. Like, if you get that player, I don't think you are that far off from being competitive if you're able to get rid of, say, a DeMar DeRozan. Say you have an underachieving or overachieving Eastern Conference team that thinks this is their year. You might be able to get him off there. Zach LaVine next year has a player option at $49 million. Maybe he opts out.
Yeah, he's
You
going
get
to
that
opt out. He doesn't want to be here. He'll take less money to get the hell out of Dodge.
Exactly. You get that player, and if you still have Sabonis, okay. If you don't have Sabonis, then maybe you have picks lined up. The Kings have all of their picks through 30-31 for sure. I think 30-32. So it all depends on
I,
how much you develop the young core of this team.
and I totally get that, guys. But being a Kings fan, as long as I've been in the draft, I mean, to say like, let's hope we get this pick.
But you have to. What else
I
are you going
mean,
to do, Chris? What else are
no,
you going to do?
I
There's no
get it,
other
I get
option.
it. But to have faith in the front office
I know.
drafting,
I know.
you
I
know,
know.
I mean, I don't want to get into the whole Luka thing and all, you know, just
Listen,
our
I'm with
past
you,
record.
but I'm answering the question. Ryno, go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Scott
guys.
Perry,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chris.
Whether you do not like Scott Perry, whether you like Scott Perry, he had a good draft. He got you
We
back
think
into
he had
the
a good
first round.
draft. We don't really know yet. I mean,
I think he had a good
think,
draft.
but you know, Nick Clifford's playing 8 minutes a game, and he was your first round pick. And even though he looks like he has a lot of tools, I mean, we really haven't seen it yet. So we think he's had a good draft.
Okay, fair enough.
right.
Javier, what's going on tonight?
How you doing
Javier,
today?
you
You guys
there?
hear me?
Nope. Javier
Okay.
is not there. Let's go to Jay. What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's going on, Grant? What's going on, Ryan?
Jay,
What's up,
thank you
man?
for calling. We appreciate it.
Hey, I just wanted to, I just don't understand, why Doug Christie doesn't play Caldwell. I think we keep forgetting about him. He gives us a lot of energy, a lot of effort. And he is not playing at all, as well as Nick Clifford and as well as Maxine Ryno. He's given a lot of these minutes to DeRozan, to Dennis Schroeder, to a lot of these guys, and they're not at all cutting it. So at this point, as a fan, it's like, let's just let them go. I hope that other teams want them, but all these players that are starters and who've been in the league for a mighty long time, it's just like, it's really depressing, watching them every game, just giving the ball away, not playing defense, letting people dunk. So, like, I agree with you guys. If he's not gonna, if he's not gonna play the young guys, I think we should give them away too. But let's just play the young guys, and allow DeRozan and them to watch these young guys play.
I think personally, Grant, I'll let you answer too. I think personally, Cardwell's minutes are much more valuable in Stockton right now.
I agree.
And
Development.
even if he was having an impact, you got to
Yep.
realize he can only play 55 games
Yep.
in the NBA.
Yep.
So if you want to go see
Yep.
Cardwell, go down to Stockton. It's a great
agree.
product. Defending
Absolutely.
champions.
Thank you, Jay.
Right? No, I agree.
Yep. Thanks, Jay.
Appreciate it. Let's go overseas and say hello to Baki. Baki, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, before I say anything, I'm glad you're back
Thank
because
you. Appreciate it.
you know how is with the Gemini brothers. We are sensitive for
Thank
that
you, buddy.
kind of stuff. So welcome back. So okay, I will now say some things, and I don't think it would be necessary to say anything else till the end of the season from my side. So if you can give me only one extra minute here, I
Go
would
ahead.
appreciate
The
it.
floor is yours.
I don't want to take the time from other colors in the future because I've seen enough. Okay, since I'm awakening 5 a.m. every morning, I think I have right to say I'm a passionate Kings fan.
Okay.
But being a fan of a team where nobody cares about all of us, it insults and it's not worthy anymore. We all know NBA basketball is the best league in the world, and there's no doubt about it. But when we come to the passion, go to Serbia, go and watch the sports, go to Argentina, go to Spain. And why I'm saying this is because a lot of people wouldn't and didn't understand how the fans should treat the clubs and the players of the team when it comes to this. Okay, let's be honest. Before the season, all the Kings organization, the fans, the people around the club, had a lot of expectation from this season. Maybe you didn't, Grant. Maybe you didn't, Ryno. But we all hoped for at least better season from the last year. Only 10 games played, and everybody are toying with them. So trust me on this. Serbia is the basketball land. In the situation like this, when everybody have expectations and the team is performing as they are performing now, they would be lined up after the game in front of all of the fans, and they would be ashamed as F. So losing all these games the way the Sacramento is losing them, everything would erupt, and who knows what would happen. So I mean, people and the fans in Sacramento just watching this night by night. GM is probably doing the same as the owner, and that is nothing, and that's it. So I don't know how is this possible, but let's see what will happen next. And one last thing, we often jump on Doug Christie, like he's doing bad job rotating 20 starters in 3 games, blah blah blah. But let me tell you this: you can have for example, Rick Adelman, Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson himself, all together here. Nothing can happen when you have Zach LaVine playing -5 defense, when DeRozan can move his ass in that same defense, and etc.
Yeah, you could. Those guys would take them out of the game and sit their ass down.
Yeah, of course. But
It's
okay.
still a complicated
Doug doesn't do that.
situation. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Baki.
Thanks, Bob.
That's for me. Yeah.
All right, we appreciate you. We got a lot of people that want to talk. You want to see if Javier is ready to go? Javier, are you with us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead, Javier. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry about that. I hope you guys can hear me. So
Yeah, hear you
this-
loud and clear.
this is going to be something that you said for years, that it's going to have the Sacramento County and everybody within neighboring cities of Sacramento to put their money where their mouth is, literally and figuratively. Until the fans, like the Monday that's coming up against Minnesota and every home game after, until they stop paying for this product and putting money in Vivek Randive's pockets, this is never going to change. And it's unfortunate because as Kings fans, we all know we deserve so much more for how loyal we've been to this fan base, or to this franchise as a fan base. But unfortunately, Vivek Randive does not care about that. And if he did, and if he truly saw what he has done, I think by now in 13 seasons he will get it. But I honestly do not think he cares about winning and losing. I think he cares about his profit margins. With the increase in the ticket sales, along with whatever he wants as a NBA owner, contrary to making NBA general manager decisions, he thinks he knows more than anybody in the room. And it's just, the irony of it is, Vivek Randive, you came from Golden State. I would bet you any money that every Kings fan would pay the Warriors to take him back, because he has
The problem is the Warriors wouldn't take him back. And the reality is that when he became the owner of the Sacramento Kings, the front office of the Golden State Warriors actually had a celebration party to celebrate him no longer being around and being a pain in the ass, even though he was a minority owner. And I have that from an unbelievably reliable source that I trust with my life. So there's no way they would even want him in their building.
Well, and I understand that. I'm just saying hypothetically, because I know you don't do hypothetical. I'm just saying he's self-destroyed this franchise with his own moves and his own decisions. And today, you see a group, the last 5-6 minutes of the game, Nick Clifford, Keon Ellis, Keegan Murray, Preston Chua, Maxime Ryno. And we're thinking, with all the self-inflicted wounds that this team doesn't seem to want to fix, how can you not as an organization see it's time to play those young men for the next 35, 45, 55 games? And I called a radio show earlier today, and they thought I was crazy to think they're going to be a top 5 overall NBA team this season. They say, no, they'll finish in the top 6 or top 10. I said, this team won't win a game, like Napier said, until maybe the new year. Like, tell me a game on their record, on their schedule, that they will earn a win in their overall record on calendar. They lost to the Grizzlies today by 40 points without their 2 best players. And I don't want to hear Sabonis is hurt. They were going to lose game with or without Sabonis. Like, they're 3-12. What Sabonis played out of the 3-12 games, out of the 15 games he played in what, 10 or 11 of them, and the 3-12 record. He's not going to make up a 41-point margin. I don't care how well he played. They lost with him by 31. They lost by him with 41-point deficit, End of the day, he's not making the difference. And what's crazy, they've lost 8 straight games from the beginning of the streak to now. They've lost every single game by double digits. And they think the Kings are not going to be in the bottom 5 of the NBA overall standings. They're crazy. And for
Yeah.
them to act as if this is something that we're all on the same page, what are you talking about? This is what you want to put in front of the product? You went from the Beam team with De'Aaron Fox and Mike Brown to this? It's just like
Well,
maybe I don't know what I'm watching, but I don't understand how could they walk out to the Golden One Center and say, "This is what I'm going to present to Sacramento." After not 11 months ago, we had the Coach of the Year and the Clutch Player of the Year, and now we are given this.
So Javier, really
Oh
quick.
man, this is
I
crazy.
I just want to draw a little line in the sand and put a timeline on this. So Grant, you have your sources, I have my sources. I can confidently tell you that by the time De'Aaron Fox got traded, I can confidently tell you this. Monty McNair, the last move that Monty McNair made, which was in advance of that, there was already pretty much an agreement in place that Valanciunas was going to come to Sacramento. They needed to get the pick, right? So anyways, from that point on, this has been Vivek Ranadive moves, meaning getting Zach LaVine, meaning hiring Scott Perry, hiring Doug Christie, signing Dennis Schroeder. These are all snowball effects. Russell Westbrook. That is how we got here. And that's
Yep.
how we become old. I mean, you
Yep.
can track it to a T going
Yep.
back to Monty trading Halliburton for Sabonis. And that's why you had people leaving Wes Wilcox, right, Grant? Leaving before the season.
Of course, they wanted to get the hell out of here. They saw the
Yeah.
writing on the wall. They didn't want to. They didn't want to be here. And all the players in the locker room, if they could right now, they would all leave. If every single player in the locker room, if they could go to a different team, they would all go.
Yeah, and so it's not fair to say Vivek. Vivek and whoever's in his ear. There's reputable
Oh my God.
reporters out there that have reported on this last
Of
season.
course.
So
Javier, appreciate you.
it's
Thank you, sir.
Ryno, you're spot on, my friend. You're spot on. You really are. Hey, before we continue, I want to tell you about Bennett's. Boy, could I use a prime New York right now? Oh boy, Brian, can you help me out? Can you do a buddy a favor? Bennett's, Sacramento, Roseville, the West Side Grill in Rockland. Don't forget about their weekend brunch coming up Saturday and Sunday. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. You can make a reservation. Say hello to Brian and the staff for me, regardless of what location you're at. Enjoy the prime seafood and steaks. Enjoy the weekend brunch. Bennett'sRestaurants.com.
Hey, Brian, if you're listening, Napes is broadcasting from my house. So make sure to send some garlic toast too. Thanks.
You like the garlic toast, huh?
You have to have it with the New York.
Yeah, I
Prime.
know. It does come with the
For the
prime New
juice.
York. You're
You have
exactly
to.
right. I know.
Have to do it.
Wow. I don't even know if this is rock bottom or not, because we thought after the Atlanta Hawks game, correct me if I'm wrong, but after the Atlanta Hawks game, we thought that was rock bottom. The Atlanta Hawks game was not rock bottom. Is this rock bottom? I would say no, it's not.
It's not, because I looked Doug Christie in the eye after that game and asked, are changes coming with the combinations? And you got one change, which was Dennis Schroeder out of the starting lineup. Since then, we've gone back to the same patterns of Neek playing infrequently. You've got Keon back to the same spot. He didn't even play till the late first. Did he even play in the first half, Grant? I don't think he played. Keon. Did he play?
No,
in the first half?
No.
Yeah. So, no. Until that stuff changes, no. Napes?
Once again, I'm so tired of seeing Dennis Schroeder shoot the ball. Do you know that he was 0 of 8 tonight? And he was 0 of 4 from distance. He wasn't alone, by the way, in poor shooting. But like last night, he took 21 shots in the loss at Oklahoma City. This signing by Scott Perry has turned into a disaster. When you look at the money that is owed him, that's one of the worst free agent signings in a long time.
I said it at the time.
Yeah, you did, and I didn't, and I give you credit. I said I thought it was okay. I wasn't crazy about it, but you needed a point guard. He was a perfect, but you hit it right on the head. You did say it at the time. You're exactly right.
I just, with that many stops, with the role that you talked about coming off of the bench, look at what he's trying to do off the bench. He's back to Detroit mode, and he was brought here to be the point guard. And you could almost make an argument outside of the minutes that Russell Westbrook has given you at times. The Kings still don't really have a point guard on the roster. You can.
I would tell you that if you're just joining us, thank you very much. Please subscribe to the channel. Could you do that for us? If you're not somebody that has subscribed, would you please hit the subscribe channel?
Give us a thumbs up.
We'd appreciate that. And a thumbs up, you can give us that for our holiday gift. Thank you. We would appreciate that. So if you were not with me at the beginning of this show, I've calmed down a little bit because I was really upset at the end of the game. There has to be a coaching change. There just has to be. And I'm not saying, by the way, that that's going to like turn the Kings into a good team. But you have a coach that's not very good. I'm just sorry. He's not. He's not ready for the job. And it's professional sports. It's the NBA. And you can't keep a coach that's not able to do his job properly. And his love for the team cannot be debated. His love for the city cannot be debated. But he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm sorry. And he doesn't know how to handle press conferences and say the right things. He just can't. It's not working. The team quit on him tonight. They quit on him against Atlanta. They quit on him against Minnesota. The team is dysfunctional, which is really not Doug's fault. That part of it's not his fault. But he is the coach. And his job is to get the guys to compete. And how many times? I mean, the Kings are 3-13. So out of the 16 games this year, Ryno, help me out with this. How many times have we had to talk about the Kings didn't compete tonight? Right? Too many. It's just too many. It's too many. It's too many. And so, like, that's an issue. And when I see a team not competing, that's when I tell myself I got to make a coaching change. I have to.
But out of the group that a lot of the fans want to see, I'm hard pressed to think of the opposite. A time those guys were not trying to compete. Your Neat Cliffords, your Keon Ellis's, your Max Raynos, your two-way guys. Those guys have been trying to compete, even in garbage time. So that's, again, where that line is, I think, for this fan base. And I think you should really watch this team because that could be a fracture in the locker room as well. Hey, coach, I can do this. They can't, but they're better.
What did I tell you was going to happen a month ago? What did I tell you was going to happen? I said that the season would be over by Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I said that it would be a disaster. But what did I tell you? I said all the vets are going to want to get the hell out of here. They're all on their phone talking to their agents, going, get me out of here. And that's where we're at right now. I'm sorry, but that's where we're at.
Ironically, they're hurting their value. You want to get out of Sacramento? Play better.
I don't disagree with that. I do not disagree with that. I really don't. Where do you go from here, Ryno? Like, if you're not going to make a coaching change, then what do you do? You got Denver coming up next.
So I heard on the broadcast. That was weird. Are we starting over? I heard on the broadcast that, they suggested this is one of those games that you throw the film out. You don't make mistakes and you don't let that get into their head because it can compound and get worse. Bullshit. You sit them down if I'm Doug Christie and you show them everything. You micromanage it. You put a sheet in front of them where they're writing stuff down.
And how embarrassing, speaking of the broadcast, I had my buddy, I tell you, send me the clip of Kyle Draper in the fourth quarter when the Kings were down 31 saying they just need to go on a 12-0 run to put pressure on Memphis. Like, it's embarrassing. The whole thing is embarrassing. From top down to the broadcasting to everything. It's embarrassing. It's freaking embarrassing. It's not embarrassing when you're looking to relocate and you look at a development like Sunrise Landing in Calusa with their beautiful models, with no Mellorews and no homeowners, adjacent to the Calusa Golf and Country Club, this Blazona development project. Go and check it out. All right, I'm going to give you the website. They've got various phases. They've already completed several of the phases, but they still have some lots available with these beautiful models. Go to CalusaSunrise.com and check out Sunrise Landing. That's CalusaSunrise.com. And maybe you will find yourself relocated at beautiful Sunrise Landing. Again, I don't know where you go from here. I really don't, because the team's checked out. They've quit on their coach. I'm sorry, they have. They've tuned him out. And it's like you've got 66 games left.
It's crazy.
Not 6 games, 66.
66. Danny, thanks for calling the show.
Hey, just checking in, and I appreciate you guys, Grant and Ryno, for another bad loss, for being here, chatting with us fans. It's really tough, but having you guys makes it a little bit easier.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Few things. Beginning of the season, you listen to all your preseason hype, the stuff about like being competitive, tough, team oriented, disciplined, accountable, professional. We're like, what, 17 games in, and do we see any of this since day one?
None. Zero.
Yeah. And even watching the game today, DeMar DeRozan, he looks checked out. I don't know what you saw, but I just
100% he's checked out.
Not happy, always arguing with the refs. There's no joy, and
he's done. He's checked out. You 100%. I would bench him. I'm sorry. He's still a professional. He's still getting paid. I wouldn't play him. I'd bench him for the Denver game. I don't care what the hell it looks like. I'm not playing him if I'm coaching. I'm done. I'm not playing him.
Yeah, and you can see like only taking 3 shots. He's just standing around like doing cardio.
I'm done. I'm taking him out. I don't give a damn what he feels like. I don't care how it looks. I don't care what he's done in his career. He's not playing for me. I'm sitting his ass down.
Yeah. Just looking at the schedule ahead does not look good, and hearing you rant, like, I agree. Chris, there needs to be a change at coach, just even to get the young guys in. You got a Keon Ellis, Max Ryno, you got Neek ready to play. Look at the Grizzlies. They brought in their young guys.
Yep.
They look ready.
Yep.
They look competitive,
Yep.
tough, team oriented.
Spot on.
All that whole shebang. Why can't we have that? What's
Okay.
I don't know.
Danny, let me ask you a question. What if Doug makes that change? Are you still fine with him as the head coach?
Depends if he can get results, because looking at him, he can motivate the young guys, but for some reason, my gut feeling is like maybe he doesn't have full reign. Maybe somebody upstairs say, "Hey, look, we're paying these guys. We got to play." I don't know. I'm just my gut feeling.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Like you overpaid for these veteran guys. I mean, Russell Westbrook, hit and miss. Games he'll take over and win you games, and there's games where he's there. But I mean, I'm happy with watching the young guys. I'm happy with watching. I mean, rock bottom, can it get any worse? I mean, just even seeing guys go out, play hard, be tough. Maybe we can salvage something. I don't know.
Danny, appreciate you. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, love you guys. Take care.
You, man. Appreciate
Thanks,
your feedback. Gunther, you're next here. Gunther, you're on the postgame show.
Hey guys, nice talking to you guys. I just wanted to ask you about. Okay, so I'm thinking that this team obviously is checked out. Not only DeRozan, but some other players too. That they're not going to show it as much probably. But I'm just asking about this post-game show. Are you guys going to kind of keep it going?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you kidding
anywhere.
me? We are coming at you, win or lose. We're not going to stop doing the show because the team sucks. And you know why? Because we got passionate fans that care. We're not going to leave you deserted. We're not doing that. Yes, we're going to be with you all season. Even if they don't win another game all year, we're going to be here.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool to hear, because I don't know how you guys can just keep talking about losses. And what do you try to do to, what's the coverage going to be like? You know what I mean? Like, do you just talk about...
The coverage is going to be honest. You don't get bullcrap with us. You get the truth. You get honest takes the same way you get on the radio every day from 3 to 6. And I'm not bragging. It's the truth. Listen, we're not camouflaging. We're not sugarcoating anything. Ryan's very opinionated. I'm very opinionated. You don't have to agree with us, but we're not holding back. I've been very open with you here on the show, and that's not going to change. And we value the opinion of the fans. So we're not going anywhere. We're here every game.
Okay, that's good to hear. And just wanted to get your guys' opinion. Like, I mean, I know tanking, it's not good to talk about tanking this early, I guess. But like, if it were to happen that way, and they start losing even like more games, and they get to a record that's maybe like bottom 5. Like, what do you guys think about prospects? Like, have you guys been keeping up with like college ball? Is there any?
We're
not this early
for that, Gunther.
Yeah, there's too much for the Kings.
Gunther, we can't start talking about that until after February. Okay.
I get you. All right. Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Buddy.
Thank you.
And the college season just started. So
I know it's a Is this a different Javier?
I don't
Javier,
know.
you're on with Grant and Ryno.
I was
No,
wondering
okay.
the same thing.
Ryno, I don't know what else to say other than I'm going to get ready for the show tomorrow at 3:00, and I'm going to be coming at you strong.
Yep.
And I don't know if Doug Christie will still be the coach when I start my show tomorrow at 3:00. I really mean that.
Yeah, I think he still will be.
I don't know why.
Well, you know what? You bring up a good point. They let Mike Brown talk to the media, drive to the airport, open
Yeah.
his car, and get
Yeah.
fired. So, yeah, I don't know. Good
Well,
point. We'll see. Either way, we'll be there. And like you said, we give credit when credit's due, but we're not wearing purple glasses. We're going to call it as we see it.
all right, buddy.
All right, bud.
Appreciate you. I'll wrap it up.
Yep.
I said this at the beginning, and I'm going to say it again. That was a gutless performance tonight by the Sacramento Kings. There's no other way to say it. Gutless. And you were playing against a bad team that had 4 wins, that had lost 5 in a row, that had their 2 best players not on the floor, and you got humiliated. You got your nose rubbed in it. There was nobody on the team that wanted to take a hard foul. There was nobody on the team that said, enough of this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to commit a hard foul. I'm not going to let them just come down possession after possession after possession and dunk on me. I'm going to give them a hard foul. You didn't see any of that. You didn't see any fire. You didn't see any commitment. You didn't see any competitiveness. You didn't see any desire. And I'm talking about from a team aspect. You can always pick out one player here or one player there, but the reality is you didn't see it. And if this were just one game out of the 16, I would say, you know what? It happens. It's the NBA. But it's not just one game. It's been a repetitive pattern. You can't argue that. You can't debate it. You can't deny it. It's the truth. It's the truth. The team has tuned out their coach. The coach keeps giving us a load of crap after the game. And honestly, I feel bad for Doug because he deserves better. He really does. He deserves better. But he's not helping himself. He's not helping himself when he comes out last week and rips his critics and the media. He's not helping himself. He's not helping himself when he talks about we are going to play Sacramento Kings style basketball. What the hell does that mean? He's not helping himself when he talks about we need to rebound, defend, and go in transition. He's not helping himself in any way, shape, or form. And in my opinion, he's making it worse. He's not an NBA head coach. He shouldn't have gotten the job. And I'm not blaming it all on him because we know what the real problem is. The real problem is the owner. And let's face it, Scott Perry has not exactly done a very good job either. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to give Scott 3 years because I think he deserves 3 years. But right now, hasn't done a really good job. His big free agent signing is Dennis Schroeder. I still don't know about the draft picks, even though I think they can be good. But do we really know? You didn't have any size. It's a mess. It's a freaking mess. And you have a coach that's not ready for this. And you have 66 games left. And how many times have I said this over the years, decades? You deserve better. You deserve better. You deserve a lot better. Why would anyone, and I really mean this with the holidays coming up, why would you invest your time and your money to go to a game right now and watch this crap? We just saw one of the worst homestands in NBA history. And then you go out on the road and you're 0-4. You've now lost, I'm losing count, 7 consecutive games by 10 or more points. In those 7 games, how many games were you thoroughly embarrassed and completely non-competitive? Too many. Falls on the coach. I'm sorry. It's the way it is. It's big boy sports. We're not in high school. We're not. It's time. Okay? It's time. It's beyond time. And again, I'm sorry, man. I really am. I mean this. I'm sorry because you deserve so much better. I've been here since 1987 and I've been in your corner and we've gone back and forth and we've had great conversations over the decades. And I love your support. I love your passion. You freaking deserve better. You do. You shouldn't accept this. You shouldn't accept it. You're better than this. It's a shame. It really is. It's a shame. It's a shame. How about this? My 11-year-old always asked for Kings gear and tickets for Christmas. This year, he said no to both. Wow. Tell me that everything I just said was not summarized right then and there. Can you imagine being 11 years old and your father comes up to you and says, hey, you know, Kings gear, tickets for Christmas, and he says no. You know, I grew up, I rooted for a lot of bad teams as a kid. I never said no to my dad when he said, we're going to this game, we're going to that game. I got excited. Can you imagine that, an 11-year-old saying no? Vivek, do you hear that? Vivek, do you know how sad that is? Do you know how wrong that is? Do you know that you're responsible for that? You're the reason why that 11-year-old boy does not want to have Kings gear and doesn't want to go to the game. You're the reason. You're a disgrace. You're an absolute disgrace. And if you really want to give the Kings a legitimate Christmas holiday gift, put the team up for sale, would you please? Do what's right. We'll never forget what you did when you rode in on your white horse and kept the Kings from moving to Seattle. You'll always have a special place in the history of Sacramento. But that honeymoon is way, way, way over. It's gone. That honeymoon is gone. We need a divorce now. That was a great marriage for a period of time, but it's time to get divorced. Okay? Sell the team, would you please? Do what's right. If you really care about Sacramento, if you really care, do the right thing. Get out. Let somebody else give these fans what they deserve, because you're not capable of doing it. You've embarrassed the franchise. You've embarrassed the franchise. Not just here in Sacramento, but all over the NBA. It's a joke. Please, on behalf of the Sacramento Kings faithful, as somebody that's been in this community since 1987 and loves this franchise dearly and has always had his heart with this franchise, please do the right thing for the Sacramento Kings fans. Take your money, go love your life, go buy a soccer team or your other passion. Go align with John Fisher and move to Vegas. Put in a lot of money and get into baseball. It's time. It's time. Rock bottom. You know how many times I've said rock bottom in my years of covering the Sacramento Kings? I don't know if we're rock bottom, but as Mitch Richmond said in the 90s, in the early 90s, does he see light at the end of the tunnel? And Mitch said, I don't even see the tunnel. You know what? I don't even see the tunnel right now. I don't. And to have your 11-year-old boy not want Kings gear or tickets for Christmas, that says it all. On that note, thank you. Thank you for your support, your passion, and your love for this franchise. You deserve better. Join me tomorrow at 3 o'clock on Fox Sports Sacramento. I'll have a lot more to say then. For Jerry, for Ryno, Grant Napier, talk to you soon. Stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye now.